Hello, everyone, and welcome to this video for Men's Minds Matters. I am your host, Aaron Ryder, and today we're going to be talking about a form of toxic co-parenting called poisonous messages. So what are they and what do they do? And how are poisonous messages something that are used against you in parenting? So let's first of all look at the definition of poisonous messages. A poisonous message can occur when your ex says negative things about you to and in front of your child. Many of these things can even be untrue, and your ex may also twist some of your positive characteristics to make you look bad. So, the too long didn't read version of that is when your ex lies about you to your kids. The purpose of that is to help foster a loyalty conflict, to turn your kids against you, to make you seem like less of a parent, and therefore they will want to, they will get more time with the kids and they will have the better relationship by bringing you down. Lying to your kids like this has many negative side effects. Obviously, you are lying for starting, and that is never a good way to handle your kids. Is not telling them the truth or distorting things. The second thing is your kids will eventually grow up and they will figure these things out. If you have lied about your ex or misconstrued some of their negative or even positive characteristics, your child will figure that out, and then your relationship will ultimately be damaged with them. So let me start by saying what not to do. When your ex is trying to start a loyalty conflict, what should you not do? First of all, do not argue facts. And this is hard because you think the first thing you want to do is when you hear a lie is you want to talk about the facts and what is true. And the reality is poisonous messages are about relationships. And so if you are arguing with your kid over what your ex is saying, and I understand a need to push back a little bit, but do not get into an argument with your kid about it, because what does that do? That hurts your relationship, which only pushes them further away and creates a wider gap. So do not argue with them about them, even if you have to correct them slightly. Don't get into an argument. Number 2, do not respond in anger. Remember that your child is not your ex. Yes, you may be angry about what they said, especially if it's untrue, but the real anger is your ex. And by the way, don't take your anger out on your ex either, because if you say or do something or respond in anger, such as sending off that angry text message or having an argument at drop-off time, that is only going to make things worse, and very often those things can and will be used against you at your next custody hearing. So do not respond in anger. And then also, do not ignore legitimate concerns. Here's the reality. No matter how good you are not a perfect parent. Nobody is. We're going to make mistakes. And our kids may bring one of those mistakes to our attention. It is important that even if our ex is trying to instill a loyalty conflict and send these poisonous messages, that we do not ignore legitimate concerns that our child has. That we listen to what they say, even if we don't always agree, we can talk and respond to them, but don't simply ignore it because you think it's coming from your ex. So how do you cope? First thing you want to do is actively listen. As hard as it is to hear a lie about you, the first thing you want to do is give it your attention and listen to what they have to say. Because again, this isn't about the truth, it's about relationships. And when you're actively listening, you are helping to improve that relationship and to not tear it down like your ex wants. 2, provide emotional reassurance. This is a difficult thing for your kid to deal with. And so by you providing emotional reassurance, you're letting them know that in spite of all of the terrible things that their ex has said about you, true or not, that you still love them and you're always going to be there for them. And then finally, understanding that your child is the victim and not the perpetrator of the lie. Your child is not the one who is saying these lying things to you. It may come out of their mouth, but we all know that it is the ex behind them. And the reality is children who are caught in a loyalty conflicts are the first people who are injured by them. So do not take that anger out on them and understand that they are the victim of what has happened. So the next question that people often have too is, okay, I don't want to send poisonous messages. So how do I be a non-toxic parent? What do I do? What do I say? And how do I not create this kind of loyalty conflict and send poisonous messages? So here we go. How do you be non-toxic? And as hard as this may be, never say anything disparaging in front of your kids about your ex. Do not insult them. Do not call them names. Simply refer to them as mom or dad, and that's it. Do not say mean things. As Thumper from the movie Bambi would say, and I love quoting this, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Because the last thing you want to do is say negative things about your ex, which can and will be used against you at your next custody hearing. But also it creates emotional problems with your child, and we do not want that. Try to leave the child out of disagreements. I realize that that is hard to do, but leave them out. They're not ready for them, especially at a young age. And then definitely want to avoid conflicts during drop-off times. And remember, if your ex is telling your kids that mommy or daddy is always angry, and you show up at drop-off time and you're angry, what are you doing? You are reinforcing that negative message that you are exactly the person your ex says that you are. It is never easy in life when someone lies about you. It is especially not easy when the person who's being lied to is the person that you love so much, which is your child, and the lie is being perpetrated by the person that you used to love, which is the person you created this child with. As hard as these poisonous messages are, do not give in, persevere, promote a good relationship with your child, and eventually your child, as most children of divorce eventually figure out, they will know the truth. And often, if the relationship has been strained, they will come back to that relationship and try to promote a positive relationship later on. So the best thing you can do is create a good relationship now. So thank you very much for watching this video. We always appreciate your likes and your shares of this video and following along as we're going to continue to put out more videos like this. And we hope you found it useful. And thank you from everybody here at Men's Minds Matter.